was this guy who was treating this lady badly. She had just joined our church, and she joined the church when they were already separated. So I didn't really have any pastoral authority over the guy. I went to his office, sat at the reception. The receptionist told him I'm downstairs. He didn't come down. With all my grace, anybody who doesn't want to listen won't listen.
Good evening, sir. You mentioned previously that two believers should be able to marry.
Yes.
However, today you've now also mentioned that compatibility is a huge factor.
Yes.
So where do we strike the balance?
Thank you very much. The balance simply is, those of you who did economics, did you ever hear Centeris Paribus? Please, what is the translation? All things being equal, two believers ought to be able to get married. But is that the reality? No. Because you are dealing with free moral agents. Listen, do you know that, God forbid, you get married to somebody who chooses to be foolish? What is my role? Is to advise. If he or she refuses to listen, what do I do? What do I do? You know, I've said it jokingly, especially in the early days of the ministry. There was this guy who was treating this lady badly. She had just joined our church, and she joined the church when they were already separated. So I didn't really have any pastoral authority over the guy. I went to his office, sat at the reception. The receptionist told him I'm downstairs. He didn't come down. With all my grace. If anybody who doesn't want to listen won't listen. It's a fact. That's what the book of 1 Corinthians is about. And something like that Hebrews talked about, that when you ought to be teachers, you have need of milk. I've seen it many times, even with pastors. Even with pastors. It's my wife I pity, because she has a lot more compassion than myself. So she counsels a lot more people. And there are some couples. It's not my business, so I'm not the one counseling. I'm annoyed. Just listening over the phone. Don't stress my wife now. Every 2 nights. Phone call. So what did he do? What did you say? That's a fact. So I'm judging based on the experiences I see on a daily, day-to-day basis. I'm not saying it ought to be so, but it's just the reality. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why, don't take anything at face value. He goes to church. We attend the same church. Don't take it at face value. Because when the saints gather, serpents also gather. Let me drop one for you before you go. When Satan was bringing the proposition in the throne room and was saying, test Job. If you test Job, he will curse you and die. He kept saying that. Was Job there? Was his wife there? How come his wife, who was not there at all, eventually said the exact same thing that Satan has been saying? Told him, curse God and die. Maybe the wife of Job was Satan's target all along. Maybe Satan even knew that Job would not cave in under pressure. And that's why he killed everybody and left her. Oh, yes. He came to the house and said, spirit de corps. You know what I'm saying? By the way, it works vice versa. In Nabal's case, the wife was the good one. It was the man that was crazy. these things happen. Let me tell you something. Even if you are faithful to the Lord, if you marry somebody that will cave under pressure, Satan will go for that person. And it's a pattern. The same thing, the serpent didn't go for Adam. And in the case of Job, it was his wife too. It was his wife. Because, you see, this is a lesson on its own. There are some people, when the circumstances are good, I've seen people, the man was making money, you were enjoying it, both of you were happy, then disaster struck. Some people don't know how to do well under pressure. You'll be surprised. Your husband will tell you, curse God and die. And it happens a lot. A lot of men abandon their wives when they are sick. Statistically proven. And now, we are not even built for that, because even just common exchange of vows, in sickness and in health, you say in health and in health. You think you are speaking positively. Because some of us don't want to embrace any form of hardship. And you're not being positive about it. Come on, are you getting what I'm saying? These are the real issues. You can have a happy home because disaster has not struck. That's all I'm telling you. That's what happened to Job. The wife didn't show any trait before then. Thank you all very much.